Greetings, mortals, and welcome to Pillars of Eternity.
So I decided to restart my run because I started making another. Wow, that was fast. Hey, Passy. And unfortunately, I screwed up my window size. What's that? Yeah, I'm feeling like Twitch has a lot of advantages these days that it didn't before. Interesting.
Their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern is only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
You shall not pass. Okay, so last time I was what was the word? So last time I was trying to out a fighter again because I'm a crazy person who thinks that it's a good idea to always play the most boring class possible. So this time I am instead going to actually make Arctole. So particularly because of the fact that there's very few games where I can actually make Arctole, I'm going to definitely do it in this one. Okay, so we're pumping up might, and the thing that I find funny about this is that I'm actually going to be crippling my resolve, dropping my int to 8, basically just being like, yeah, Arctole's usually a reasonably intelligent character, not to be confused with me, totally different person. And I would usually consider him to have reasonably high resolve because he's stubborn. But I like the idea of just him getting easily distracted and easily, losing his temper and things like that. So I just like the idea of dropping his resolve and his int. That way we can increase his perception up to max, which gives us plus 24 to interrupt and plus 6 accuracy. And we are going to make him come from the living lands, I guess. So the living lands has diversity, mountains, etc. It's plus 1 strength, that's what we're looking for. Unless I want plus 1 perception. Is that an option? It is. Oh, this is so fun. I love the RP of this. Do I want more perception? Perception is a relatively weak stat, so I don't know that I want more perception over more might. We're gonna go with might. He's just gonna punch things as hard as humanly possible. It's gonna be great. And he is fundamentally a drifter as a character. But I like the idea of plus 2 survival, so, he tried to go found a colony and then everybody died except him because they were a bunch of noobs. Let's see. Whereas he, of course, is just a glutton for punishment. And which one do we want here? Let's see. Oh, right. I forgot about this one. Okay, there we go. This is going to be our Arctole. It's going to be great. In terms of clothes, I don't actually know what color his clothes should be. Oh no, I only have the option to accept it. You know what? Actually, this is going to be my option. We're pink all the way. It's, for an RP standpoint, not necessarily what he would actively go for, but he's not going to be paying any attention to what he's wearing anyway. This is the right hair color for him, I think. So facial hair, he shouldn't have any. Can I get rid of that stubble? Fun fact, Arctole does not shave. He just doesn't have facial hair. He doesn't have it in the first place. So... I think this one has... I think this has the smallest amount of facial hair, so that's what I'm going with. Let's see here. Oh, I can change... No. That's... Facial hair is like the chunky stuff. So, what am I doing? Hair... This is... Okay. I tend to think of his hair as relatively long. We'll go with this. I think this is an appropriate setup for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now I am the leader of the group. A blade in the dark. What is it?
I'll lead the way. Death to our enemies. Quick and quiet. Yeah? I'll lead the way. You're mine.
I wish this was a slightly deeper voice. It's very, very high pitched.
Easy now. Oh?
Leading the way.
Let's go!
My eyes are peeled.
I'm flattered.
Let's go!
Quietly now.
Stellar.
Follow me.
Let's go!
Steady does it. Follow me.
No.
Death to our enemies.
Definitely going with cocky. I mean, it's Arctole. There's no... I guess I'm just going to go with Arc. But we know his full name. So, we're creating a monk. I figured that this will be a more interesting way to play. Battles should definitely go faster, because the DPS should be substantially higher right at the beginning. And I'm definitely going to be visible. All right.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
Indeed.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood? Touch of the rumbling rock, could be. There's a stinging beetle around here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first.
This just occurred to me, but if you're making a tea out of it, if you're making something out of a berry, it's a juice, not really a tea. A fruit tea is just fruit juice. This might be slightly
They grow on a bush that's common around here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it.
I guess
You'd have to go far off the road to find one.
I guess you can technically call it a fruit tea, but you're basically just watering down fruit
Nothing you won't
juice.
see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. Of course, all
Oops.
the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
Who did build
Got
them?
different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Indeed.
Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up. This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beawick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to. They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that. Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot. Not like most of this lot. If you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep. Kalisha. Kalisha! He needs to find some spring berries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Aiden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Okay, so we've got our characters set up. And let's see, we've got 1 athletics. I'm probably just going to pump survival on him.
Not a problem.
Maybe. Alright, so we're just going to try to unlock this? We're not going to unlock this. Boo. Alright, so first things first, let's take a look at my stuff. We can. Yes! Yes! This is the best game ever. Okay. So, we've got pink underwear.
Say the word.
It's glorious. It's glorious. Oh, I'm so happy. So, -3 concentration, -3 fortitude. I've got sundries for sale. I don't need supplies. I'm a naked monk. What else would I need in life? What's up?
I'll have your water soon enough. The stream's not going anywhere.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Hello.
Let's check by those
Okay,
out.
you get. Oh right, I was intending to actually. What's this? That's weird. I wonder why I have that. Whatever. Wah! Wow. I'm liking this. That's a hell of a lot more damage. Oh, 17? Holy shit. God damn. Okay. Well, that certainly went a lot faster than it did this grill mesh.
This is it.
Excuse me. Oh, man. Excuse me. Da-da-da. Oh, it almost says you'll be the right kind of colonist. Oh, you were some kind of colonist before coming here. If that's the case, you'll fit right in. A whole country's a bunch of colonists. You like frontier life or what? I honestly don't like any of these choices. But I'll just go with number 1 because whatever, close enough. As you happen to be here. There was a fortune to be made. There was no fortune to be found. Sure. Turns out I was wrong. I thought I was Some things just aren't in the stars and there's no changing it. Makes you wonder if the gods like putting us in situations that can't be resolved just to see what we do. I really think of it more as like he just wanders and he doesn't really care. He's just like a wanderer. He's like, ooh, I'm going to become a colonist. It's going to be great. Everyone died. Oh well. Continue on to the next place. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Radrick's offer. Makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of this lot? Pass it through. Usually the case, big city's just a little ways further up the same road. Where are you headed? I'll wander. Couldn't judge you for that. Been half my life. Just watch yourself. You get too far off the beaten path, these lands are wild. Okie dokie. Why are you here? Sister Work came out. I don't actually care. I don't actually care what you have to say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I really don't care. Give a crap. I'm going to be playing this character a little impatient. It's going to be very different than the character of, like, Grillnesh, for instance. And he's going to rub off on me a bit. I'm probably not going to be reading everything completely. I'm probably going to be playing in a much more, like, Yarhu, let's get to the combat kind of style. Just because it's going to... The character is going to rub off on me, right? But... Ooh, shinies. But yeah, so we'll see. I do think that we should have an okay time with regards to getting through the early content. I think the early content will be easier with this build than it was with the other character. Okay, so yeah, it pretty much looks like just dual wielding just his base fists is going to be the best DPS for now. Some people had indicated that you got the single weapon style bonus. But it doesn't seem to be the case. So...
Careful when hunting. At least you left the water skin. Not good.
At least he left the water skin. Da, 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 da. So we will hopefully manage to... I love this so much. Oh man, I'm not putting on any any chest armor for the entire game. I'm really hopeful that I can get through the entire game without ever putting on a chest piece. It's too badass. Oh man. Okay, we got a full water skin. Out of the trees emerges Sparfell, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness in his gait, his stride wobbly as he moves toward you with labored breath. He is a zombie.
Sparfell, are you all right?
Sparfell's toe catches on a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag.
Ambush!
Ambush! Okay, so we should probably deal with the archer first. How dare you shoot me! You know what? I'm gonna have her engage this one first. I think that I can probably punch this thing to death. Oh, that DPS! Okay, so... This is very, very different than my previous run. Oh man. Oh man, this DPS. Okay. So, anything else that I need to do? It doesn't look like it. I think we're set. But yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Oh man. And the beginning will probably be actually easier than...
Ready when you are.
Okay, that's more people than I thought it was going to be. Oh, shit. I didn't have her on the list. That's fine. She can go beat that guy up. Punch! 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 How dare you shoot me, insolent fool! Punchity, 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 punchity. Uh-oh. How dare you! Punchity! Oh. So I can see what this is now. So these guys have a concentration of 81, which means that on any given attack with a plus 24, I have to roll at least something like a 60. So I have something like a 50-50 chance of oh wow, yeah, we interrupted twice in a row. So that's the other cool thing about this build that I wanted to make, is that rather than have the enemy miss, you can just punch them in the face and make them not hit you because they're too busy getting punched in the face. So I'm very curious to see how well this works. For the beginning, it's probably going to work really well, but I don't know how well it'll work.
Brain, we need to get back to Odema now.
Yeah.
Let's see what's in here.
Whoops. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts splayed with bug-eyed and filthy. Kalisha puts the back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. Handful of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe with a thick beard, tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade to the neck of a man you recognize as Hayden, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you'll lose. I am unarmed. Well, I was hoping that I would be bluffing them, but that didn't work perfectly how I intended. Oh well. Alright, I'm going to move him back. I'm going to try to move her forward. Yeah, so she'll get to here, and I'm going to try to get... Whoop. Punchity, punchity, and punchity. Okay, so Hayden killed the Huntress.
Say the word.
Lay down your arms! I'm already unarmed!
Death to our enemies.
Punch, punch. Boom.
Forgive us. Good. The gods are just. I am ready.
The wind begins to swell, whipping it around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tensely like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin. Where it pierces you, it feels as if it's rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom slashed across chest and bowel, Odema's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Run!
I still don't know what's in that chest. I've never actually had the skill necessary to open that chest before. Straining against the gale, that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step. You set your hands on the worn folds of the weathered rock and set to pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself onto the ledge. Hayden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who had been feigning death lunges for Hayden and topples him onto the knockery ground. Oh no, I don't have a weapon in my hands. I can hurl a rock at the attacker. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Hayden loose. Lurching to his feet, Hayden clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to hold it up, catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with a waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from your sockets. I have 20 strength. It's no big deal. They hold just long enough for Hayden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. I guess it would be Constitution, though. There's a deep resonance in the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though you could shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. Some of the people you meet and fight in the world can be taken prisoner and held in your stronghold. Now is not the time, friends.
Was that?
A Buick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
Alright, so how close am I? Okay, so we're about halfway.
That should be far enough. But what now?
Storm has to die sometime.
Let's see. Yeah, let's keep going. Oh no.
Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours? I've lost some blood. Seems quiet off to the left. Be a place to rest there.
Can't afford to stay put. Those Glonfaldens were riled about something. Could be we got company in here. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
Please, I just need to lie down for a while. Then we can move as fast as you want.
Hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back. We've either got to find the exit or a damn good place to hide.
Because this is something where normally, like, I'd be thinking about, logically speaking, which one of these do I agree with? But this is Arctole we're talking about, and he doesn't understand the concept of weakness, so Kalisha's right, we just have to keep going, because if we find enemies, then we can kill them.
I'll do my best.
Good man. Okay, so we can continue on. I should probably put her in front.
We should move.
Okay. So, what is this? Bruised ribs, -4 constitution. That is a pretty significant problem for him. Okay. I'm gonna go this way first. Let's see. So, blah. It's okay, I won't hurt you. Creature cocks its head and approaches you. Okay. I'll just... Huh? Can I just pass it? Apparently not. Holy shit. Look how much damage he just took. Okay. Wow, okay, so he's definitely not going to be on the front lines. So, genuining with an artifact.
Hear that?
Just say the word. Not a problem.
Boop. Boop. Oh, 20 damage. Jeez. Oh, man.
I might be able to break through here if I were feeling better.
Okay.
Look at the tiles. What are those symbols?
Symbols. Just like the tiles.
Boop. Okay, so continue on this way.
Not a problem.
Okay. Stabbity. Stabbity, stabbity, punchity punch. So that gives you an idea. That's... basically, every time I interrupt them, and this is something that I was wondering about before, and now I understand why.
Where'd that slime come from?
The, okay, we can use the water skin to clear up those. Interrupted. And all those interrupts basically just prevent it from having the ability to attack for a pretty decent period of time. So we can go ahead and do that. There we go. So we can put on the Cloak of Protection. Yes. Yes! Oh, this is too beautiful. Oh, I love it. He's got a pink cape. This is too glorious. So here's a question. Can I just break this wall? Let's find out. Push on the wall. I'll push under myself. Power overwhelming. Okay, I haven't really been injured very much. Kalisha is actually pretty wounded. You could, or... Oh god. Oh god. Run away!
It's around the
Not
corner.
a problem.
Run away! Did I say run away? I meant charge!
Not a problem.
Okay, let's do this.
How can I help?
Come on.
Yeah?
Okay, I think there's only 2 of them on me now. Let's do this. It's already down. Punch. What is this crap? Somebody other than Ark got a killing blow? Also, that was a lot of damage. Oh, man. Okay, so charging in. Oh! Holy crap, I chunked it! I had forgotten that chunking was in this game. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, oh man. I'd forgotten how much I enjoy playing actual DPS characters. Okay, so this is going to be very amusing.
I think we found an exit. Sounds like
Oh boy.
too.
Not a problem.
Chunk. Life is good. Alright, so... Okay, let's try to pull back a little... Oh, never mind, don't have...
Not a problem.
Back away! There we go. Now it's time. Punch, punch, punch. Life is good. Life is very good. Oh, man. Bats as large as chickens, my friends. Okay, we got a helmet. Anything else?
They'll never know I'm here.
They'll never know I'm here.
Okay, then. Off we go. Yeah, I'm glad that I restarted with a new character. Because I like my tanks, but at a certain point, you just have to go all-out DPS. Four figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled adra and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out amongst them. A thick gray beard frames a face otherwise hidden behind a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike any you've ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with two protrusions that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, and regard it among your favor. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book.
Yeah, man, screw books.
Your brother has done his
He didn't.
power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forward and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
I'm glad the villain is busy monologuing because that gives me a chance to put eye drops in my eyes. There. Okay. Oh no, I'm out of dew. For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. Then all at once it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods from your vision and you're knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land and pain swells in the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away in the black unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed. Its walls lined with Adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of Adra pierces the floor from below, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you've seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them, and they're all questions. Pressing questions, troubling questions. Questions that must be answered, or... At the base of the pillar now you see a man with a thick gray beard and ceremonial robe, crowned with strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You're walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried while trying to not appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and the question spins madly in your mind. You awaken to find your malaise is broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits in your periphery, but when you turn to look, you see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tic. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures at the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. Heoden and Kalisha lie bloody at the uneven cobbles, their bodies twisted unnaturally in death. You're alone and far from health. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. So, we have just leveled up. We have just...
Not a problem.
Lost our party members. We have people talking at the edge of our vision. This is so great. I had not realized just how amazingly awesome it would be to be a monk with a cape. But I am super, super happy right now. Okay, that woman is less happy. Yikes. Massive structure is formed of stone, Adra, and copper, but covered in strange glyphs. The air around it vibrates with unusual energy. Okay, before I leave, I am going to level up. And we will see what I want to put points into. I feel like athletics is a good one. Yeah, I'm not going to put any points into lore. This is so great. That's so awesome. And let's see here. We will get... There's mortification of the soul. That's not great. Let's see. So at level 2, I can take Weapon Focus Peasant, which gives me +6 accuracy with my unarmed strikes. So I think that that's what I'm going to do. And let's take a look here. So my accuracy is lowered by the fact that I have major fatigue now, unfortunately. So we're going to pop into Valewood, and I'm just going to pass right on through and go to the town. The question is...
Time to bring out the bedrolls, I think.
Actually, do I want to do that, or do I want to make an attempt? I'm wondering whether I want to attempt to clear some of this solo. Oh wait, no, I definitely do not. I'm going to be doing my best to complete as little as possible. before we continue, because I'm going to be doing the I'm going to be rushing to get the stronghold unlocked at just completely ASAP. So we'll be picking up a couple of characters in the next town, continuing with the story quest a little bit. And I think I can easily take this wolf down. There we go. Wait for my HP to recover. And we cannot go this way. Poop. Okay, we're going to ignore Naunton's existence and travel to here. I really don't get how you're, like, using up a grappling hook. How are you damaging it? Like, I feel like if you damage your grappling hook while using it, it's not going to be useful to you.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
I feel at home already.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
This guy is unflappable. I feel at home already is a super creepy, disturbing thing for somebody to say in response to you clearly threatening them by pointing out all the corpses. Nope.
Are you absolutely certain? Lord Raderick has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village.
I do not actually have genitalia.
I should warn
canonically.
you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans.
I guess that isn't true. If I was playing as Kumanaton, he doesn't actually have genitalia canonically. Let's see.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement.
Oh no!
It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn, just southwest of here.
Let's see here. So about that tree over there. Ah, yes, not everyone has accepted the measures necessary to keep the village safe. Ever since Lord Radric banished the mothers of the Hollowborn, some have taken up arms against him, and while he's been searching for a cure, he's been beset by frauds and opportunists. We've had ciphers, wizards, and animancers come through town, taking the Lord's coin and promising to end the curse. Lord Radric finally decided to make an example of those who would profit from our tragedy. The latest was an animancer from the Valian Republics, who claimed to know techniques none of us had ever seen. By now, we've seen it all. You said something about the Hollowborn. I forgot that you foreigners do not have the curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon Deerwood for almost 15 years now. Children born without souls. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe, barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they're a punishment from the gods. I say they're delicious. In truth, no one knows, but they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Widewind's legacy stuck in the honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. I see. Lord Radric's decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understand our rules. So... Let's see. I feel like suggesting to someone that I might have some sort of plague is a bad idea, so I'm actually going to go with this one, because why the hell not? You'll want to mind where you mentioned that. Trespassing in Within ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting a new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Barath, have mercy, we certainly have. Maybe. God damn it. So I have to say everything.
Problem. It sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
Often worse than none
If
at
you're
all.
set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that. Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
What do you mean? You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy has struck the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Barath must be redoubled. Okay. Let's see. I'm wondering whether Ark would even notice that that's kind of intended to be a threat. I'm debating whether he would even notice, because I feel like the idea of some insolent mortal actually threatening him might seem patently ludicrous to him until he's been given some reason to believe it. So does this affect the offer? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you get some rest. Find me afterwards. I'll know more soon enough. Yay. Okay, so we got some experience from that. And we can now continue on. Continue on. So.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Looking for anyone who can help me feel better. My condolences. Welcome to our lovely village. Okay, so how do I do this? Do I have to...
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
What's going on? Mocking us even while he shelters in our village just goes to show these fancy Adir manners are worth. We don't take that kind of treatment, not from foreigners, and especially not from Adirans.
Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarreled.
That's where you're wrong.
I don't think attacking him is such a good idea. Why is that? Because then you'll have me to deal with. We're done for now, but this one better watch his step around here, because we're not going anywhere. There is a naked man threatening us. Clearly we're out of our league. I'm getting out of here.
quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
Glad I could help.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I. I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
Tell me about
I'm
yourself.
a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here? In Griffin Ruins? Those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. Half the locals will arrest you for trespassing, and the rest will kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Hooded figures operating a strange machine.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
Fact. So what are you doing here? Oh, how did you cross those
I'm
roads?
afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did tell that one guy to fuck his sister. Ah, that. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. Yeah, no, I heard it. For just a moment, it looks like he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. Let's see. What are you doing here?
Excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
And you? Looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
I expect that such expertise would be best sold elsewhere. You don't look
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
Do I not look like a settler, like a normal settler? Don't normal settlers go around in a cape and underpants?
As should I, in recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Let's go.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Okay, so here's the question. Aloth has enough experience to level up. Do I need... Do I actually need to sleep? Am I unable to continue without doing so? I wonder. I think that I can't continue with the plot until I do, but I'm gonna increase his lore. Do I want to increase his lore? It's gonna increase mechanics. Okay, Chill Fog is amazing. So what do I want for him? This gives them a +6 accuracy bonus when using scepters and rods. This gives wand though. So this generates a blast. This is an AoE whenever using any of these damage types. I don't know what I want for him. I think I'll give him Scion of Flame for now. Okay, so do I want to take a nap at the inn? Or do I want to just keep going? Because I feel like I should just... You know what? I don't want to find out if I'll screw myself over if I do that. So we're gonna rest at the inn.
Good day to you.
Let's see. So basically, I'm just going to be taking a quick nap in the common room just to progress the plot. So sleep is rest and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed by suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inward like a moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she's mere inches from your face. Suddenly, her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they're empty, and behind is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air, she speaks a word. Watcha. You jolt awake, your foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke to the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with new queasy apprehension, you find a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she's truly dead. Now, let's see, we're not super close, but we're moderately close. Then I told her that's not the pistol. That's the piss. So, squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of her noose. Bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there's a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you've expanded enough to reach her, there's a sudden jolt in your mind, a ringing electric surge of images, words, and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself pulled down into some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in milky fog. Her body still swaying in the wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
I think I survived a Bielik. You know how that?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Call them. Those days are all behind me now.
So souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die, and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Let's see. I need to understand something's happened.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it. Sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
So, when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties. You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Okay.
Me? I'll bore you to tears then. And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
She's laughing.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found? Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up. A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations. Miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other. Turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
I think we're done.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Are you alright? Let's see. I'm a watcher, apparently. Well, that is interesting. And I expect this has something to do with the hooded figures in the wood, huh? So, in any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about watchers? Only that they're rare, they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions, as you just demonstrated. Let's continue on. Okay, then. So, we just gained another level. So, we can go ahead and just keep putting points into athletics. At some point, I'll probably put points into... Actually, I should probably start putting points into survival now, huh? Interesting. Do I want... Okay, so we can put 3 points into survival. Get that all the way up here. It's up to 6 now. Okay, so now we need to figure out what to put points into. So now we can actually get the point where he starts to kind of look like Arctole. So now every time he takes at least 10 points of damage, he's going to get a wound, which he already does get. He can turn those into his attack, his AoE attack. But in addition, he'll now have this passive effect where 5% damage gets attacked on as fire damage anytime he makes a melee attack per wound. And he can stockpile up to 10 wounds. So he'll eventually be able to have, 50% damage as fire added in. So.
17 and a half. Well, it could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
What are you talking about?
People hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. So do the people around here. Might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved. The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman?
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. Never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a radrick at first.
Do you know what a watcher is?
Let's not use that word round here. There'll be any number of radrick bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, radrick especially. They come to these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
I'm actually going to go with none taken. I don't think that Ark is that curious a person to like go like, oh, you think you're going to be hanged? He's not going to say something like that. He's just going to go, oh yeah, no, none taken. Don't worry. If they try to hang me, I'll set them all on fire. Good. They don't mean it personal when they hang folks here. I have to remind myself.
Had it in for me for a long time now. Only fella who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war? Says war. Only one in a lifetime. Fellow decides he's little an arcane incarnation of Aethys. Overthrows Raid Saris, marches on Deerwood, so we gave him a Deerwood and hello. And what's that?
Blew him up.
I love it. Who's Aethys? God of Rebirth and Redemption, formally anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. Okay. Why was the headsman hanged? Got involved. Radrick sent down men the other day, said they had it on good authority. Someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Radrick's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swathen, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against the Radrick, then for supporting me, or protecting me. That's what they have against you.
Wrong, God. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, there was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts.
Can't imagine why.
My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radrick's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Is his name Radrick or Radrick? You can see why I was eager to leave. Who's Kolsk? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. So if you're next to me, hey, what are you still doing here? Drinking mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places to go when you don't think Widewind's legacy started with Widewind. We could travel together. Where are you going? Some place called Cadenlaw. There's an old watcher there that might be able to help me.
I remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger. And a strange one at that.
Where'd you get that idea?
Told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
There's a fine reason if ever I heard one.
All right, then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. As long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Let's get going. Alright, so he's now ready to level. And we can give him... what? Do I want to give him that? I think I would want to just go with athletics. Just max out his athletics, and let's see here. I'm going to give him shield deflection, and deflection bonus applies to reflex. I legitimately don't know if I want Defender or not. For now, I'm going to give him Discipline Barrage because that'll allow me to make the decision as I go. They've nerfed Defender pretty hard, and sort of passive mechanics like that are already relatively weak in this game. So rather than do that, I'm just gonna give him the plus 20 accuracy, which will allow him to knock enemies down easier, and keep it going. So we're just going to continue going straight on forward. Hello, what flames? I like flames.
Come to pray at the statue. The others
Fireman!
are welcome. But it's best if just you and I trade words, and your shadows stay quiet. Hands off their weapons, both arcane and steel. It's only you I want to trade words with anyway. I swear before the whore that is Margaret, no harm will come to you in her shadow. If that's enough of a promise for you. If not...
Let's see. I will go ahead and examine the statue. Study the man. And gaze. Okay. Strange choice of company. I could do better, though the road holds little else. Until now.
The world holds many whores we worship. Respect comes with honest titles. I bet even you have gone against instinct in exchange for a little copper. Or paid for such in countless ways. But if I give offense, if words are all that are left to a man, then why in the Deerwood of all places he should have leave to speak them?
So
I didn't give it. You probably find names as useless as I do. The names that litter this world like debris are hard enough to wrap around the tongue. And what do they matter? It's what's beneath the skin and the letters I care about. What burns within. It's more important to me you're a watcher than whatever culture or accent decorates your letters like awkward crowns. Take pride in your actions, not where you're hailed from. Or how your name rolls off whatever liar's tongue coats it now. If you need a title to hang on me to match your own watcher, then call me Durance. And as you observe souls, I test them.
So how'd you know I was a watcher, I guess? I can see the questions bubbling up. Let me burn them away one by one.
I am a missionary. I walk this diseased nation with its heathen, its people so careless with the spirits of others and their own. Watchers among them. Yes, I know you for what you are, and your name doesn't interest me. Names are for honest folk, and you are a crack that shines light from another place. We're meant to travel together, you and I. Saw you in the flames. Not your face, but that soul of yours, all tightened up, like a huntsman's knot.
Set my soul in the flames.
There's things we can teach each other. If you're in need of answers to your mantle of questions, I don't force my words on anyone other than you. I don't care who walks with you or what their muling problems and politics are. There's enough howling in the world without me stoking that fire. I won't take from your provisions, don't need much on the road. I can carry my weight, which is considerable. Many will stand against you. They probably already have, from what I can see. Left their marks, it seems. Like a trail, worming its way behind you.
What kind of marks?
Spirit wind? Both could have touched you, yet here you stand. As for disease, not all of us were close to water when the pox hit. But it's no longer a passenger in my flesh. It left its marks as well. But like flames, the pox doesn't strike twice, nor is it catching.
Sure, I like company.
Then let us walk together, Watcher.
Okay, so I think I'm actually going. I was planning on getting to the stronghold first, but let's see. So we got mechanics on the other guy. We're gonna get lore on him. Let's see. He uses a quarterstaff. I'm going to give him weapon focus peasant because I'm going to be trying to punch things as hard as possible. And done. So, interestingly enough, he's the only character that is not 3rd level. Okay, so I'm actually going to end things here for now. I've noticed that I'm actually using a lot of eye drops, so I clearly need to stop looking at the screen for now. So that is going to be it for today. Next time I will continue on to the stronghold. We're going to be basically just doing a beeline for the stronghold as quickly as possible, try to complete that quest, and then we can come back and start clearing through all of the content here. I would prefer generally to do the content like piece by piece as I'm going through, but this maximizes the total number of turns that I will have access to the stronghold, which is better, basically. So we've got not a lot of money, but that's okay. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure to stream for you today, and I hope to see you all again next time.